From Kane to Erling Haaland, he scores 2 as Manchester City beat Everton 2-0. But Pep Guardiola says it's time for others to score too, if possible.
Well, he was asked about this, and I don't think it's a scoring so much, but Haaland, okay, Manchester City players have scored 15 goals this season, right? There's 2 own goals on top of that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Right? Haaland has scored 11 of them.
Yeah.
In the Champions League, they've scored 4. Haaland has scored 3 of them.
Yeah.
Guardiola says, look, they're still creating chances and stuff. I'm not sure, though, that they are to that degree. I think they are very Haaland-focused. There is an alibi there. Obviously, De Bruyne is gone. Some of their creative players, Ryan Cherky's been injured, came back. Bernardo Silva's kind of been in and out. Foden is still up and down. I think once they master that, then they're going to have more creative patterns of play. And then I think other people will get good shots. But right now, it's all Haaland. And Haaland scored twice, and he also squandered.
He should have scored 4.
He could have scored 4.
Easily.
I don't know what we're seeing. Jules, we're not done because we have more.
Yes.
Arsenal stay top of the Premier League as Leandro Trossard's scuffed shot gives them a 1-0 win away to Fulham. Jules, as I see it, Arsenal were extremely lucky with a goal, but they also deserved the 3 points because sometimes more than one thing can be true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a tough game against a team that hardly attacks, to be fair, like Fulham, even at home. But I think they managed... I thought they managed the game well. Yeah, they got a bit lucky on that goal, but there's other chances that they should have taken that they didn't. But, I think this team is moving in the right direction for sure. They're so solid. They're the best defense by far, not just in England, but in Europe too. They're so solid. They don't give anything away to the opposition. And I thought that was very impressive in that sense. With the ball, especially with Eze playing now in the other guard position, there's more to come. But yeah, I thought it was good.
I don't like Eze in that. I like Eze a lot. I don't like Eze in that position. I'd love it if there was a way to try and Ranieri there.
Yeah.
But Odegaard is missed.
Chelsea scored 3 after the break to win away at Nottingham Forest. Enzo Maresca needed to switch it up at halftime, though.
Yeah, this is the same crap as before. You got players missing, and your B team is not good. And look, he tried Andre Santos behind João Pedro. That was a bit of a disaster. I'm not saying
that's not his position, though.
Well, dude, somebody's got to play there. And it looked better when Mark Yu of all people came
to
on.
be fair, he was
At least
good.
Yu makes the runs. I don't think he was good. I think he was just making the runs.
No, I think he brought
what João
something.
Pedro needed. There's no Enzo Fernandez. There's no Cole Palmer. Defensively, all over the shop. And by the way, people can pick on Achampong and Chalobah. It's not just them. It's these fullbacks around them. Malo Gusto and Reece James. Not a good game. We did have a Romeo Lavia sighting. So
True,
I guess
but when Caicedo came on, you saw the difference. They can't play without Caicedo.
Sticking with Nottingham Forest, Ange Postecoglou is out. Out of a job after just 39 days. Mr. Marinakis has seen enough, Jules.
Enough. 20 minutes after that defeat, 39 words, statement from Nottingham Forest for 39 days in charge of disastrous, to be fair, tenure of Ange Postecoglou. No wins in 8. The quickest manager sacking in history of the Premier League or something like that. I know they had chances and I know they played decently in the first half. For me, it was because Chelsea were abject because of what you just explained in the previous answer. It was just not good enough. The players were not on board with Postecoglou. He wanted to change things too quickly. He was not smart enough. His communication was dreadful again. And it's the same mistakes, being poor on set pieces. He's got a disdain for set piece. He doesn't want to work on set pieces. This is not good enough. His teams are the teams that concede the most goals on the return after the break for a reason, because he can't motivate the players enough after the break. I don't know. There's so many things that we're pointing out that this was inevitable for me.
Obvious question. Did you need this game to learn this about Ange? No, if you were going to sack him at the start of the break.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. And I think Sean Dyche is coming, which I think should be fair or not.
Aston Villa come from behind to win 2-1 away to Tottenham Hotspur. Jules, time to praise Unai Emery's genius or find fault with Spurs?
I would say neither, Gav. I don't think there was anything genius in what Unai Emery did. He scored 2 goals from a 0.3 XG. They were...
Come on, you've seen Matty Cash hit those passes. You've seen Luca Dean juggle like... I don't know how he died. Like, was it intentional?
I don't know.
The first control, but his second touch...
The first control, but...
First control, difficult and special.
Yeah,
The second one, the way it just bounces off his foot, I was like...
maybe that
If Messi does that, I buy it. Or Neymar.
I agree. But still, I mean, look at him, Paris born and bred, so obviously very special human being. I thought this was a poor game from start to finish. Really, I thought it was poor from Spurs being at home, which is not new. We saw that against Wolves, we saw against Bournemouth. They clearly have problems at home. We go back to what we've said before. When they have the ball, a lot of it, they don't really know what to do. Xavi Simons was not good. If Kudus doesn't do something, and I know he crosses the ball on the first goal, but this is difficult for them. And despite the changes that Thomas Frank made, there was not really any difference. And in the end, to be fair, I think a draw is probably a fair result more than the Villa win.
Yeah, Matisse Tell, I don't understand Matisse Tell ahead of Colomwani. I'm going to assume they're all born. I'm assuming they're both. Are they both Paris born and bred?
Both Paris born and bred. Of course, so very special human being. Yeah, absolutely. But at least Tell scored before the international break, then scored with the under 21s during the break.
Colomwani's what? The PlayStation.
You saw Colomwani coming on.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I think you're loading a lot of pressure on Xavi Simons, which he clearly doesn't seem to be ready for, because there's nobody in midfield right now, with the injured players, of course, who has any kind of personality coupled with technical ability, right?
Well, Bentancur
a little bit, but he's not. He wants to be the leader, but he's not. So maybe Bergval has to play, but then I don't like Bergval. So
you need when you play at home, you need a 10 in that role. You can't have a runner like Bergval or Pape Matar. You need somebody with creativity, good technique.
Especially when your wingers are all runners.
Well, yeah. But Kudus is not a runner. But if Kudus doesn't really do anything, you need that, which worked against Leeds away, didn't work in this game. But I think it's a warning sign a little bit for Spurs and for Thomas Frank. Graham Potter has been confirmed that the new Sweden manager, Gab, is going back to his roots.
Yes, obviously before that. Graham Potter is actually the weird English football type that actually went to university and whatever. I think he coached the university team in Hull or whatever. But
or Stoke or something like that.
In football, actually, he went to Östersunds when they were in like the 3rd or 4th division. It's not a fully romantic story because it was a guy putting money into the team. But he revolutionized them, put him on the map, and took off from there. Now he's going back to Sweden. I want to say I wish him well, but they could be playing Italy in the playoffs, so I don't want to see that. But yeah, obviously Sweden need to be punching much higher than that. And it's not just Gyökeres and Isak. I think top to bottom, this is a team that should be going to the World Cup. And it's a good opportunity, I think, for Potter, just as a deal through their World Cup qualification, which could be at the World Cup or could be before that. Yeah. And then he'll be on the market again. Wild stuff between Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, Jules. Boom, boom, boom. Mateta's in the room as he bags a hat-trick. But then he misses the chance to deliver 4-3 win.
I felt bad for him.
Also, how about that Eli Krupi?
Yeah, Eli Krupi Jr., who's 19 years old and scored a brace. The second youngest.
Jr.?
His dad was called the same, and why? His dad was a really good player. But for Eli...
This guy's better.
I mean, yeah, but he was good when he was 16, 17. Right. He played in Ligue 1 and in Ligue 2 when he was 17. He was amazing in the Championship last year. Obviously, Bournemouth owned Lorient, so it was easy for them to get him. I think he had to wait for his time to start in the Premier League, and he played a little bit, but that was his first start. And then he was outstanding. I thought he's so good technically. I can't wait to see how far he can go because it's very early, obviously, and things
all
like
this
that.
Krupi chat means that you avoid mentioning the miss from France's Olympic center forward.
So what a week, first of all, for Jean-Philippe Mateta. Scoring for France on his first start on Monday night. Then this hat-trick. He's second in the Premier League in his career. Really good. I mean, the first goal is what you expect from the first two goals, then the penalty. But then maybe the easiest is the one that he should have scored at the end. And I felt bad for him because I think he tries too hard and eats too strongly and he doesn't need to. And yeah, they would have won the game.
I also don't think, it's noticeably the chance to win the game, but his misses went. I thought the Gakpo miss was far worse than this one.
Oh, similar? I would put them on the same bar. No? Yeah, I think it's
I don't. But put it this way.
It's a shame.
Jean-Philippe, you should be very happy with your weekend.
Yeah.
And celebrate. Be positive.
Yeah.